You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. By the way, it's not. I say this. I say this because I want you guys all to know. Like, don't. Like, I love that all of this comes together for a greater cause in Operation Smile. But you know. But it's also. It's. I'm running a business too. You know. It's like. It's not like I'm some fucking saint or whatever. I'm selling. Like, hey, buy a T-shirt. You know. But I thought it would be a fun way to sell a T-shirt, you know. I felt like if you're gonna have a business, I really believe in conscientious capitalism, or what I call conscientious capitalism. Go run a business, make your money, take care of yourself, do good in the world, and if you can give a buck at the same time, win-win. That's great. I love you guys and I appreciate you guys and thank you so much for supporting us at the Nerd Machine. Thank you for coming to Nerd HQ. Thank you for coming. Thank you for. I hope that you guys enjoy the panels that we give you. Oh, you know what? And actually, while I have this time, keep coming in. Keep coming in. You're all good. Don't worry about it. I saw some things on Twitter today. And I don't know how much of it was even like it was just a few dissenting voices, or if it was a lot of voices, or whatever. I'll explain. Oh, what? Oh, what? Oh, okay. But I'm just gonna say this real quick. You know, the weekend. You know what? I'll say it at the end. I'll say it at the end. Say it now? Oh, okay. But we, so essentially, just so you guys know, just so and the world knows, or whatever, like I try to pack as much fun into a weekend as I can, and that involves both fans and it involves celebrities as well, right? And so Thursday night is like y'all's dance party. Like I just want to throw y'all a dance party on Thursday. And then Friday night is the one that I do for all the talent and all the sponsors that give us money to make Nerd HQ. And then and Saturday night just turned into like an impromptu, like my friends that I see maybe once a year at Comic-Con, I have a little party with them. And then I don't want to shut down the rest of the venue. I want you guys all to still be able to appreciate it. But some people on Twitter were like saying, oh, you like were keeping us out of your party or whatever. And I was like, no. But so for whatever it's worth, I just want you guys to know. Please don't ever feel disenfranchised. Don't ever feel excluded. I try to do everything I can. I love you. All right. Oh, you didn't tell him already? That's your job. Is there flash photography allowed at this panel? Is there video allowed at the panel? Is there fun allowed at this panel? Please welcome to the stage my friend Tom Hiddleston.
Hello, everybody. Oh, you're all so pretty. You're almost as loud as Hall H yesterday, I've got to say. Okay, louder. You got it. Yeah. How you all doing? Yeah. This is fun. It feels like there's no teacher in the room. This is. I could just get settled in. Neil. I have to behave myself now. Oh no? Okay. So just basically the whole performance is Loki in all three films right here, live. No. Save it.
You have questions. Who's got a question? Who's got a microphone?
Hi, Tom.
Right there.
Hello.
Hi, I was wondering what your favorite Shakespearean work is, and if you can give us a sample.
Wow. That's a really good question.
We have time?
What's that? You know, I feel like it changes depending on how I'm feeling it in any given moment. Oh God, this is hard. I have a very soft spot for Othello. I think it's the most as an arc. It's kind of perfect, and the character Othello is so good, and the character Iago is so dark. But there's an extraordinary energy between them. And I was in a production of Othello myself in London. But then there's some of the speeches in King Lear are just heartbreaking, and there's one line in Cymbeline. I was in a production of Cymbeline when let me find the year, 2007, and I played Posthumus and Cloten, who's the kind of hero and the bad guy, sort of double act, and the hero Posthumus is kind of separated from his heroine Imogen, and they're betrothed to be married for the course of the entire play. And the story kind of goes on many twists and turns and mistaken identities and cross-dressing and all sort of kind of a Shakespearean greatest hits. And at the end of the play, they're reunited and they're both in disguise, and they both Posthumus and Imogen think that the other is dead. And Imogen, Posthumus actually strikes Imogen, because she's dressed as a boy, thinking that. Just not recognizing her, and then her hair, in our production, her hair fell down, and suddenly he saw her, and she just hugs him. And Posthumus's line is, "Hang there like fruit, my soul, till the tree die," which is beautiful, I think. And also, and also I played Henry V, which is amazing, and it's an extraordinary play. And I'm about to play Coriolanus, so Coriolanus is in my head. That wasn't a very good answer, was it? Like, there's a lot of it. Yeah.
It's a great answer. I've just never felt more uncultured in my entire life.
Hi, I played a guy who worked at the Buy More.
As I met, I had the great pleasure last night, drenched in my own sweat on the dance floor, of meeting Nathan Fillion. Yes, I did. And I told him the truth, which is I'm a nerd about two things, and that's tennis and Shakespeare. And he, in Joss Whedon's Much Ado About Nothing, he gives the best Dogberry I've ever seen. It's amazing.
Who's got a mic? Right here, right in front.
Hey.
Thank you so much for being here. One of the things I wanted to say was last year somebody gave this little mini speech about Zach, and it was really sweet. And it had to do with how he's so sincere to his fans, and we have to stick behind him because of that, because he's so nice and sweet, and he does whatever he can for his fans. And I just want to say that that's how I feel about you, and I know that everyone feels about you, because you care so much about your fans. And thank you.
Thank you very much.
My question
you guys
is,
are the best, for sure.
My question was, for someone who's wanted to act their entire life, what's the best advice you could give them?
No pressure.
You know, Kenneth Branagh is a big mentor of mine, and he said something the other day. Somebody asked him a question, and I think it's a quote from Shakespeare, from A Midsummer Night's Dream, which is 4 words: "Take pains, be perfect." And it's I think his way of saying, you know, don't be afraid of caring. I mean, when I started acting, I'll never forget this. There was a guy above me at drama school who used to say, when you have a big audition for a part that you really want, you should go out and have a crazy night, and then turn up to your audition hungover, and you'll always get the part. And I tried that, and it never worked at all. Like, I would just be like, oh, I just want to go to bed. I'm really just so tired. And then I kind of changed. Well, basically, I gave myself permission to care, because there are a lot of people in this world who are afraid of caring, or afraid of showing that they care, because it's uncool. It's uncool to have passion. It's so much easier to lose when you've shown everyone how much you don't care if you win or lose. It's much harder to lose when you show that you care, but you'll never win unless you also stand to lose. And it was basically, I've said it before, don't be afraid of your passion. Like, just give it free rein and be honest and work hard and it'll all turn out just fine. And sing in the trailer. That's what we do.
Every morning when we were getting our hair and makeup done, we would be blasting music, or as loud as they would let us play it.
It was actually, like, I think, really obstructive for everyone else on the bus. Like, you're doing these films, you're doing a film like Thor, The Dark World, and both of us, well, we both have a hair color change, first of all, and different degrees of face paint, and you're due to shoot, like, you need it on set at, say, 7 in the morning. So we're usually in the makeup chair at 5 a.m., like, and people are moving a little slow. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. It's the winter. Like, the entire planet is still asleep. But we tended to just blast out everything from Elton John to the Beatles to
Stevie Wonder.
A lot of Stevie Wonder, yeah. This man has a pair of pipes on him. That's no secret.
No.
These.
No singing. Next question. I love you.
I don't know how to sit on this chair. It's like so big and deep. I'm like, do I sit at the front or do I sit at the back? Does anyone else have this problem?
They do. We're going to work on that for next year.
I could sort of do this and, like, you know what I mean? Just perch on the side.
Some people have been doing that, actually.
I saw Joss do this the other day.
He just moves around. Joss is moving.
He's like, hi, I'm Joss Whedon. I'm not going to do an impression of Joss.
Yeah, right there.
Hi, Tom. Hi, Zach.
Hello.
First of all, there are a couple of friends of mine scattered around here, and we're all come from Australia for our first ever Comic-Con, and I wanted to thank...
Amazing.
I wanted to thank everyone for making our first experience a really, really amazing one. Tom and Zach, you're both two of my biggest positive influences in life, and I wanted to know how you draw your positivity, like how you get your positivity and how you try and drain out the bad and like where you draw it from.
Here's the thing. You only get one. Like, this is it. This is. Actually, I think Shekinah posted something on Twitter about a month ago, which was in French. It was a French quote, and it says, it was like, "On a tous deux vies, No, come on." Well, listen, I'm from London. France is 2 hours on the train, for heaven's sake. The quote is, "On a tous deux vies, le second commence quand on réalise qu'il y en a seulement une." Which, for those of you who understand that, is we all have two lives. Where are you? We all have two lives. The second begins when you realize you only have one. So I'm not wasting any time. And the thing is that, with negativity is for my money, they are like clouds that pass across the sun, and you basically, they will pass. Like, they're just feelings, you know what I mean? And it's important not to dwell on them. It just move past it. There is so much, I find, and maybe it's my nature, but there's just so much about life that's amazing. And when you kind of key into that, I don't know, it's a strange thing. I just get excited about stuff. I can't explain it. And I try not to get bogged down in disappointment and I don't know, nobody has an easy ride. That's for sure. There's not a single person in this room who's had an easy ride, and it's about to get harder, I'm sure. but it also gets better. And the point about going through those experiences is you just have to sort of go, well, it is what it is, and it'll pass. And you know, I don't know. Does that help in any way? You have to just kind of like, you know, this is amazing. I'm sitting in front of an empty baseball stadium. Like, what's not to love about that? And there are 300 people in here who have all come to listen to me for some strange reason. That's incredible, you know. Yeah, there's so, you know, you just, when you tap into like how amazing stuff is, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, sometimes when I was at drama school was really hard. You know, they deliberately kind of overwork you, and they just throw everything at you. And maybe I was on a 3-year course at a drama school in London called RADA, and the first year you kind of work at you sort of slightly showing your strengths and the things that you're good at, and the second year they throw you everything you can't do, all the things that you know. That are your weaknesses, and you're basically to work on your weaknesses. What's the point in working on your strengths? And you're working sort of 16-hour days, and you're exhausted, and you're drained, and you're physically tired. And I kind of lost the love a bit. I lost my mojo. And true, I did. And I remember going. I live near a couple of parks in London. I remember one night I couldn't sleep, and it was the summer. I got up really early in the morning, and I went and walked to the nearest big hill, and I saw the sun rising over London, which is one of the greatest cities in the world. And sometimes, like, that's the answer, is just get up when the sun gets up and look around, and you realize you're part of an amazing planet. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Hello. I wanted to first start by saying thank you for coming today, and in particular for helping raise money for Operation Smile. And I wanted to...
6,000. Just this panel, $6,000. You guys did that.
That's amazing.
And I wanted to ask, what charities or causes are you passionate about that you might want to share with your fans?
Well, some of you may know this, but I'm a sort of junior ambassador for UNICEF in London. Thank you. And I was invited to go and see their work in the field in West Africa, in Guinea, at the beginning of January this year. And they are extraordinary as an organization. They are, you know, one of the world's leading charities for children and women and children, actually, because you know, the closer you get to the problems that children all over the world endure, you realize that the same problems are really the mother's problems as much as the child's problems, and they believe very, very strongly that every child deserves a clean break, and no child deserves a disadvantaged start. And it's their mission to elevate every single child's chances of a good life. And I've seen their work firsthand. I've seen it in the field. I've seen what they do in London. They are extraordinarily dedicated in a very real way. I mean, when I was in West Africa, all the things I've done so far today are not possible. I got up in the morning and I opened a bottle of water. Not possible. I slept on a bed with clean sheets. Unlikely. I put on clothes that had been washed in a washing machine. Not possible. You know, when you go to these places, you realize that we live in extraordinary privilege, and UNICEF are committed to helping babies get inoculated against disease, helping train mothers to know how to breastfeed, helping make sure that they have access to clean water to drink, helping that they have sustainable agriculture, helping that they, so many things, combating the terrible FGM that's rife all over the continent. So it's amazing, and I'm very, very proud to stand with them in that fight. There you go.
No, right up there. Do you have a microphone?
Right here.
You got to raise a hand for a mic, and then once you have a mic, then yes, right over here.
Hi, Tom.
How's it going?
First, I have a question and a request. Is it all right if I make a request?
Sure.
Okay, I painted an image of you for a class assignment, and I was wondering if there's any way that you could sign it at some point.
Of course. So sign out? Yeah.
Does anyone have a Sharpie?
I got one.
I'm sure someone...
Oh, we're full service here, people. Hand that up. Hand that up. No, you got it.
Oh, that's amazing. Wow. Look at that.
Go ahead. You can ask the question while he's signing it, too.
Yeah.
I remember when this photograph was taken, it was I was trying to get some new headshots, and I felt like I was pulling terrible faces. So I looked away for a second. I said, hang on. Let me just like relax for a bit. So I was just looking out the window, and she got me. There you go.
Yeah. Okay, my question is, now that you're...
What's your name, Don?
Kate.
Do you want me to put your name on it?
Yeah, sure. Yes. Thank you so much. Can I ask my question?
Of course you can, yes.
Okay. My question is, more recently, I guess not as recently now, but more recently you've been doing more national, worldwide commercial stuff, but yet you're still doing Coriolanus and smaller venue things as well. How do you balance working in that really big commercial world, doing Thor and other movies, with the smaller things that you're still doing, like Shakespeare?
It's all the same for me. It's the same job. Acting is an actor's job is the business of telling the truth in an imaginary situation. And when I'm playing Loki, when I'm playing Henry V, when I'm playing any of the other characters I played, Coriolanus, or I could reel off the list if you like, but maybe, like Captain Nichols in Warhorse, or F. Scott Fitzgerald, and thank you, or most recently a character called Adam in Jim Jarmusch's Only Lovers Left Alive. What we're engaged in is trying to distill whatever aspect of the human condition is appropriate for the story, and present it. Because I've always thought of acting as a kind of extra-dimensional anthropology, by which I mean we're in the business of people. Like people interest me, and what motivates them, and what inspires them, and what makes them happy, what makes them sad, and we're all united by it. We're all united by this sort of these feelings that we all feel at different times. And the reason I became an actor is because I sat in the audience of, in the cinema audience, and also in audiences at the theater, and I love it when you go to see something and you enter as an individual and you leave as a group, because you've all been bound together by the same experience. So really, when I don't distinguish between what's commercial and what's small. I mean, I never see any of the money anyway, so it's fine. Like, it's my only satisfaction comes from whether it rings true, whether and if it doesn't, then I'm disappointed, and if it does, then I'm really happy. So I hope I never make a distinction in a way. Of course, sometimes you have to modulate the tone, you know, about certain things. But yeah, basically, it's all the same. Cool.
Yeah.
There you go.
And right there.
Still don't know how to sit on this chair. I'm like, what am I doing? Oh no! I was dancing too late. It was his fault.
Hi, my name is Travis, and my friend Ruby couldn't be here today. She tweets as Hiddles Educates, and she said and she said if I asked you this question, she'd donate to Operation Smile on behalf of me and her. And the question is, do you have any suggestions for a spirit day for your Hiddlestoner community?
A spirit day. God.
She's watching live.
I still find it when you say the word Hiddlestoner, I find it a little strange. It sounds like an ancient and punitive ritual. Like you're all gonna get stoned, you know. It's like at the beginning of the life of Brian. Stone him! Stone him! Oh, I'm gonna stone him more! I don't know. I guess whatever you guys think is appropriate. I mean, I'm so flattered that you'd even want to do that. What do you think? Suggestions from the audience? Shout out. The loudest wins. Say again.
Acts of goodwill.
Acts of goodwill. Paying it forward. That's a good one.
Paying it forward dressed as Shakespeare.
Say again.
Paying it forward dressed as Shakespeare.
Paying it forward dressed as Shakespeare is not a bad
I think we have a winner. I think that's it. Who's next?
Does that mean everyone has to dress, like, get a bald pate and a little sort of goatee and...
Well, there's a lot of... Oh, you mean as actual
As
Shakespeare?
William
I thought you
Shakespeare.
meant a character from his
think
bountiful
a
works, of
character
which
is
I've read
pretty
all
good.
of them. I've read all of Shakespeare and performed all of Shakespeare. I just didn't want to talk about it. Yes, you in the blue.
Hi. First of all, let me apologize for my gravel voice. I've been at Comic-Con, so I can't speak really.
It's kind of hot, actually.
You shouldn't say that to me.
Here we go.
All right, so I asked Joss Whedon this question yesterday, and he didn't have an answer. So my question is, between Thor and Avengers, we see a really dark change in Loki. And I was wondering what you think happened to him between those movies. What got him to that point?
Joss didn't tell you?
He said what he said. He said a tragic backstory he hadn't thought of yet.
Well, he's being too modest. We kind of talked about this idea that, because at the end of Thor, you see Loki disappear through a kind of wormhole in space and time. And we imagine that Loki basically kind of goes through, he sort of goes to the seventh circle of hell in a way. I mean, he's out, he's cut loose. He just gets lost in the wrong districts of the universe. You know, like the dark alleyways, the back streets, and the people he meets are not kind, and he's really having to survive on his wits, and also with this kind of reservoir of pain that he, based on the events of that film. You know, and really it was just, we kind of established that there's this terrible, almost year-long journey that he goes on through, as it were, the jungle of the universe, and it is deeply scarring, and it hardens him. It's like kind of like the Asgardian version of Apocalypse Now. You know, it's like he goes down that river and gets pretty wild. So, But it was really important, basically, that he was stronger and more dangerous and less, he had a tougher exterior, I think. Yeah. So that's kind of what happened. I mean, use your imagination, I guess.
Next question. Right there, right in the back, in the green.
Hi.
Hello. Love your T-shirt.
Thank you. Okay, so this isn't exactly a question, more of kind of fulfilling a little dream. Okay.
Okay.
Keep it classy.
Okay, when I was 19, I had my third book published, okay? And I kind of used you as an inspiration for one of my main characters in the book. So this is kind of me just saying thank you for, like, just being you so I could use you as that character.
Excellent.
Thank you very much. What does he do in the book?
He's an anthropology professor in college.
Solid. Okay. Does he wear glasses?
Yes, he does, yep.
I should fix that. Okay.
It's called Dreams, if you're looking for it, by Katie. So Katie Charles is what I write under, and it's Dreams, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's really kind of you. Thank you very much. Is he also called Indiana Jones by any chance? Bond? I'll take it.
Who's next? Right over here, right there.
Hey, Tom. First, I just wanted to say that this is our first...
Are you a writer by any chance?
No, this is for Nathan earlier.
Oh, okay.
We just wanted
Nathan.
But we're here for you, too.
Oh, dude, thank you. It's cool.
We just wanted to say thank you first. This is our first year at Nerd Headquarters, and we've never felt so welcome. Everybody's been great. Zach, thank you.
Everyone is great.
Everyone's been great, yeah.
So cool.
So, my question is kind of like twofold. One, were you aware of Agent Phil Coulson's following prior to you reading the script of the second Avengers? And if you were, what was going through your head when you read that part?
It was when I read the Avengers, I had to stop and make myself a cup of tea. I was so excited. Every single page was a new kind of. I mean, it was the most amazing role, and I was a little bit aware of it. I actually had a huge. You kind of probably don't remember it, or maybe you do. There's a moment in Kenneth Branagh's Thor where Thor has been captured by S.H.I.E.L.D. When they found Mjolnir in the desert, and Clark Gregg as Agent Phil Coulson is kind of grilling Thor. It's like, who are you? You made my men look like a pair of minimum wage mall cops. That's hurtful. And then he walks out of the trailer, and there's a reflective door. There's a reflective screen, and from where the camera angle's standing, you see Clark walk out the door, and then he closes the door behind him, and I'm standing there, and he and I, to make that shot work, had to do this incredible kind of two-step dance. Because it was old school, there was no special effects. You know, we had to kind of hop. I had to hop into place, and he had to tap me, sort of give me a hand signal before he did it. So we had huge fun with that. And then, when I read the scene where I killed him, I thought this is going to be fun. Clark is amazing. He's such a good guy, and. It took us a while to get it right, because I knew that it actually needed. In the story, it's a very key moment, because it stops the Avengers from kind of bickering, and bands them together. I mean, they're just a disparate group of egos at that point, and the death of Coulson makes them become a team, and they need someone's death to avenge. And then I realized he had loads of fans. But he's alive and well, and he's doing S.H.I.E.L.D., so it's all good.
Next question. Right there.
Hello.
Hello.
I'd really like to ask, as a huge fan of comics, if the previous incarnations of Loki, either the comics or the Norse god, influenced your own characterization of him.
Absolutely, yes. When I first got cast, I was cast, it seems like a century ago now, but I was cast in April 2009, and I read all of the runs of the original comics, Jack Kirby's illustrations, and J. Michael Straczynski, and Robert Roddy, and I'm suddenly drawing a blank on, I've got someone in the middle, I can't remember his name is, and the Norse myths. Actually, I remember an amazing car ride I had from the west coast of LA, from Santa Monica to Pasadena, or something. I think I was going to the valley, and I had the Ring Cycle on a CD in my car stereo, because Loki turns up in Wagner, Lorge, and he's the god of fire. And I just basically, I read everything I could, and stole all the bits that I thought were the fun bits, and then, but then also there was this other side of it, which was, which Kenneth Branagh and I really wanted to highlight, which is this younger brother, that the damaged, lost, kind of sad, injured, betrayed second son of Asgard, who was always going to be the black sheep. So it became a kind of cocktail, and what I tend to do when I work is it's as if I have a huge well or a bucket or something, and I kind of circle around it, and I throw things in which I think are useful. Books, songs, pieces of music, newspaper clippings, interviews, and I kind of think about it, and then once I've sort of got this enormous well of research, I kind of move in and paper the walls of it and just live there for a bit. So once I'd done that, it's like you plan and you know, and then you forget and you do. That's always a kind of mantra. Plan it, know it, forget it, do it. So that's what I did.
Hello. My name's Jazz. This panel pretty much kicks off a pretty awesome weekend. So I wanted to know, you've kind of answered my previous question, but I just wanted to know if you could travel back to any time period in history, where would you travel back to and why?
I'm always asked this question, and I never quite know what I'm going to say. I'd love to have traveled back to ancient Greece, because like we come to great enthusiasm for ancient Greece. It's we're so used to the idea of this. Our sense of modern classicism is like everything is marble. Everything is kind of white and sort of has this sort of shiny marble quality to it. But actually, all of those palaces and temples in ancient Greece were painted. They were painted so many different colors. They were as colorful as Marvel Comics. And I'd love to have seen ancient Greece in kind of Technicolor, as it actually was. But I was in Woody Allen's Midnight in Paris, and thank you. And I sort of had a taste of what the 20s in Paris might have been like. And the more I read about it, and the more, I mean, they lived the high life, that's for sure. It was an amazing, I think the 20s in Paris was, 20s and 30s was an amazing time. But you know what? People say that his film is all about this. It's about what golden age thinking is what they call it, which is an idea that there was a better time before now. Like now is kind of meh, like it was better before. People say it now. They're like, you missed the 60s, or like the 70s is where it was at. Or it was all about the 30s, or whatever. People are always harking back to an age in the past which they thought was better. Nonsense. The time is now. And we should celebrate that. So.
I feel like a lot of people do skip over the 90s. The 90s don't get a lot of love. The 80s, on the other hand.
I guarantee you that in about 40 years' time, like, 20-year-old kids will be like, man, the 80s look so crazy. Like, so much leather and terrible music and hair and makeup and... Wait.
Terrible music in the 80s?
Amazing music.
See how easy that was? That was so easy.
Duran, Bros, Yaz. Right here.
Right over... So yeah, go ahead. Yes, stand up, please.
Hi.
Hi.
So I don't have any great art or a deep question. Two things. One day I would love to get your signature on this book.
Got it.
And
Do it now?
if you like.
I've got a pen right here.
Can I pass it down?
Yeah, go ahead and pass that down to the... Or pass it down to the... Or all the way down the audience. That's fine.
Thanks. I'm thinking maybe the last page would be good.
Okay.
Check it out.
Hint, hint.
But no, yeah. I think that one, don't you? I think that's appropriate, yeah. Thanks.
Was it? Oh, is that with you with the mustaches? That's awesome. And do you have a question?
The question is, so I guess speaking for myself, I'd really like to see you do an adventure or a swashbuckler, I guess, someday. And I think, so my question is, if you were given 3 scripts by 3 directors with whom you'd like to work, for Scaramouche, a remake of Scaramouche, or The Scarlet Pimpernel, or Captain Blood, which one would you pick and why?
Ooh. The Scarlet Pimpernel has always been... of the 3, I mean, they're all amazing, but I'd love to do it at some point. I mean, the thing is, I kind of been so busy playing Loki, I haven't done anything done for anything else. But yeah, the Scarlet Pimpernel's got a kind of mystery and a I love the mystery in it and the kind of the romance of the character. He seems to have a lot of style. But you want me to pick a director?
If you like, I was just curious which of the 3 you picked.
Oh, probably the Scarlet Pimpernel. I don't know why. I just have an image of, I don't know, it's this stupid image of like, it's the back, it's sort of, I don't know why I have an image of him sliding down some stairs. Anyway, there you go. I'd like to do that.
Who's got the next mic? Next mic? Right there.
Hello,
Hey.
Tom.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you for Hall H. It was amazing.
Thank you very much. It was fun.
My question is, obviously you love doing impressions. My favourite being Chris Evans, as you know. And
Oh my God. Oh God. It's like, oh man. Okay. Wow, Zach, Nerd HQ, man. It's pretty rocking. Listen. I love Chris. He is such a cool guy, and I actually saw him backstage last night. After I came off stage from Hall H, he was right there, and he was so funny because he was wearing a t-shirt and a cardigan like a human being. He wasn't wearing his costume like I was, and he was just like, "Dude, really?" I was watching it on TV, man. I mean, what? Oh my God. So cool. Anyway, I love him. He's great.
so I was wondering if, while you were filming Thor: The Dark World, firstly, if you can do an impression of Zach, and secondly, did you help Zach improve his English accent?
Didn't need it. Didn't need a single bit of help from me. No.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah. No, he swung in like Errol Flynn. It was amazing. An impression.
Don't think you're the first to think of that one.
Can I get an impression of you?
It would be. You would sound incredibly sexy and intelligent. First of all. No, don't.
Well, you would sound incredibly sexy and intelligent, first of all. No, don't. Keep it coming. This is the Nerd HQ. Yes, I did.
Okay, next question. That's amazing. Seriously, next question.
Hi, Tom.
I should read them that text message you sent me last week.
Yes.
Which one was that?
The one about coming to Comic-Con.
Oh yeah, what did I say in that text?
You were like, it was like, I got a text message from Zach on Tuesday. This is a highly, like, the whole H thing yesterday was so secret I really couldn't tell anybody. And I was sort of like, I really wanted to come here and talk to you guys, like, but I didn't know how to tell Zach that I was coming without...
Oh, that text.
That text, yeah. Can I read that?
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
I have it on memory. I rang him straight back. It was like, hang on, I've got to get this back. It's like, Hiddleston, I have an inkling that you are coming on a top secret mission to Comic-Con. If you do not swing by Nerd HQ, I will personally punch you in the dick. You have been warned. So it's really thrilling for me not to have a punched dick. Sorry, Donna, you had a question?
Well, first of all, I can speak for all of us when I say I'm really glad you came to Nerd HQ.
Me too. Yeah.
Okay, I'm fine. I was wondering, what's your process for choosing new projects? Like, if you have like a bunch of scripts come across your desk, what makes you stop and say, yes, that's where I want to go next? And if your perspective has changed at all since the success of you in the Marvel Universe?
Gosh, it's always so hard to put my finger on what it is. It's just a gut feeling. I think I always trust my gut. That's all I have. Even when I'm working, and you're thinking about the shape of a scene and how it should be played, and your head can often get in the way, and you've got to trust your gut. And it's just if I'm inspired, if my curiosity is piqued, and I want to chase this possibility down that I see in front of me on my desk. You know, it's. Some of you may have heard me say this before, but I'm embarrassed to say I always speak in metaphors. I don't know how to speak in any other way, and for me, acting is kind of like playing the piano, and if the piano is the human condition, and we all have every single note on that 88 key board within us, and for me, every role, I want to be able to play every note, and sometimes if a character or a story seems to stretch me in some way, seems to offer up an experience that is new, that is a different chord or a different tune, that is real and true and human, and accessible, and no matter how joyous or loving or warm or how dark or painful, if it seems like an interesting shape to inhabit, I know if I'm running towards it already. Especially if you find you're reading it fast and you can't stop reading it and you're turning the pages. You know, if you're 20 pages in and you're like, I'm going to have a good biscuit over here, and I'm going to do something else, and I'm going to clean the house. And you usually know you don't want to do it. So it's never a specific one thing. It's just, does this thing grab me? And then the second question is, am I going to be allowed? There's a sort of, I think a myth in the business is that we all have everything to choose from. Is that we don't. I know I'm not like top of everybody's list. No, but that's not it. That's not. I mean, it's just you have to earn that place. Like Matt Damon always used to say, every script that he got, he knew it had Brad Pitt's fingertips all over it. Mine just happened to be Michael Fassbender's. That's okay. No, listen, he's an amazing actor. Really, truly gifted. That was kind of a joke. Every actor is completely different, but sometimes you might read something and think, I have read things and gone, wow, this is amazing, and I've chased it down and knocked on the door, and people have said, actually, it's not you, Tom, or we're thinking of someone different, and then my job is to keep knocking on the door and say, well, you've got it, let me see if I can change your mind. But yeah, what was the second bit of the question? That was it? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Just right up top.
Hi, my name's Jennifer. I'm from Cleveland, and I hope your time in Cleveland was good.
I had the best time in Cleveland, yeah.
Wonderful, you have a lot of fans there.
Thank you.
I just have to say this because I have the opportunity to say it. Neil. Thank you so much. My question is, you've worked with a lot of great people. I'm curious to know how it was working with Tilda Swinton. And if, is there anyone that you haven't worked with yet that you really want to work with?
Second question first. I mean, so many. I get inspired every time I go to the movies or I go to the theater. I don't even know where to start. And the more people, if I were to make a list, next week there would be 10 new names who weren't on the list, I honestly couldn't, I mean, there are filmmakers I've admired all my life. Martin Scorsese, Terrence Malick, Clint Eastwood, Christopher Nolan, the Coen brothers, Michael Haneke, Jacques Audiard, Ben Zeitlin, who directed the monumental Beast of the Southern Wild last year. There are filmmakers doing such amazing work all the time. So, I should be so lucky, really. I've been lucky enough, frankly. I've worked with some of my heroes already. I worked with Steven Spielberg and Woody Allen and Kenneth Branagh and Joss Whedon. I mean, that was in the space of 2 years. I'm like, if I died tomorrow, I'd be happy, What's that? What was that? I have no intention. Yeah. But it's a good thought, though. You think if I was, would I be happy if I died tomorrow? Actually, recently, this comes back to your question. I saw an amazing video on YouTube, and it was about this young guy who was told he had a terminal illness. He had about 100 days to live, and it was incurable. And he basically spent the last 100 days of his life being amazing. And he did all the things that he had always wanted to do. And it seemed like he was more alive in those 100 days than the rest of us, because he knew that it was all going to end. And it made me think, well, it is going to end, so I better get on with it. And that's a very galvanizing thing. It's like, do what you love. And what was the first part of your question again? Sorry, darling, I've forgotten. Oh, Tilda. Tilda is amazing. How do I sum up Tilda Swinton? She's not possible to sum up. She defies categorization. She is incredibly warm and really, really brilliantly intelligent and sharp and kind. She's very, very kind. And she's lived an extraordinary life. She's broken so many rules that were imposed upon her by other people, and she's amazingly wise. It's actually astonishing. She just has she's got it, whatever it is that we were talking about. She knows that life is short and it's for living. And she was huge fun, actually. We shot Only Lovers Left Alive this time last year in Detroit and Tangier and Cologne. And we just had such fun. We were kind of doing night shoots, and I remember one day we both had a kind of hair and makeup situation, and one day she just passed me her phone and said, "Watch this," and it was Gangnam Style. She was on it. She was onto it way before everybody else, and she's a riot, and she's amazing in the film too.
Next question. Oh, yeah, clap. For clap. You want to clap?
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
I'm Darcy. Or
Hi,
Hiddles and
hi,
Ninjas.
Darcy. Say again,
And
sorry?
Hiddles Ninjas on Twitter.
Oh, awesome.
We have ninjas too, in your army.
Okay.
There are so many subgroups of Hiddle. I can't even...
I know. But you have to have ninjas.
Certainly.
Doesn't everybody? Please. Your question, ma'am?
It's a quick two-part question, if that's okay. My first part is I'm just curious, you memorize so many lines, and I can't even remember someone's first name. I'm just curious what you use to remember so much text. And the second part is I saw a video on the internet of you doing an impression of a velociraptor. But it's kind of hard to hear, so I was hoping you might do that.
Okay, first question. Learning. Learning is the legwork. Anyone who's been in anything, a play or a film, like that's our job. We have to get these words into our head, and it's. I can't sit down. I can't sit down and read something and just learn it by rote. I have to be on the move. So I tend to just I'm the deranged guy in London who's walking around pretending he's on the phone, but actually I'm speaking in iambic pentameter because I'm learning Shakespeare. And it's literally just repetition. You kind of drill it into yourself. It's like learning. I always say that you have to know the thing that the text as well as you know Happy Birthday. If someone asks you to sing a jazzy version of Happy Birthday, you'd know because you know how Happy Birthday goes. Or if they ask you to do it like Beethoven, you'd be able to do that. And it has to be in your body with as much kind of confidence as that. So it's just repetition, really. Or you just watch Jurassic Park 18 times when you're 10. I feel like I've got a full stage here. Maybe I should just go for it. I'm going to regret this.
Welcome to Nerd HQ.
This is going to be really challenging. It's
Don't miss this.
Does this still work? Does this work out here? It's okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Tom Hiddleston.
This moment doesn't happen
Give it up for Tom.
Thanks, guys. Thank you for being such good sports.
Was that fun? So you kind of enjoyed that one, right? Thank you, everybody, by the way, who came in and paid on the street and is standing room only. Thank you guys so much. You helped us raise like another $1,000, so. Well, that's the end, everybody. Oh, shut up. Did you guys enjoy Nerd HQ this year? Thank you. Oh, yes. Oh, my haters are motivators. I'll get that tattooed. Thank you. Look, by the way, I know that like on Twitter and stuff like that, there's such a minority voice sometimes, and you're never going to make everybody happy. And one of my favorite quotes is Bill Cosby that I'm going to paraphrase. And by the way, he may have stole from someone else, so I don't even know if this is really him. But it's essentially like, I don't know the secret to success, but I know the secret to failure, and that's trying to please everyone, because you're never going to do that. You're never going to do that. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try. So I think they're gonna literally turn the lights off in just a little bit. But I just wanted to have a moment with you guys where I hopefully won't cry, and I'll just tell you that you don't do that either. But I love you. Thank you. It means so much to us that you guys have been with us, that you go on this journey with us, you know, like this is, it's a crazy thing that literally we start doing the day after Comic-Con ends every year to try and fix it and make it better and get better fucking seats. Oversight, my fault. You know, all the little bits and pieces, and just make it as streamlined as possible and offer you guys, you know, as much interaction and activation that, you know, and give you guys this kind of intimate, fun stuff while still protecting them in very important ways, you know, because it can get crazy. So if at any point, if anybody during the weekend says, hey, you know, we can't or this or whatever, and you guys, by the way, have been so cool. Like anytime like you try to get a picture, I'm like, I'm sorry I can't, but I do it with a photo booth. Thank you for understanding. Thank you when you see me in San Diego or walking around and I got no time. Or for Nathan or for Tom or for anybody else, you know, we come down here because you guys, you watch what we do and you buy what we do, and that's why we have jobs. So this is all for you guys, and we love you and God bless you. And as you walk out, if you do me a favor, thank, if you don't mind, the volunteers. And thank Petco Park. If you see anybody who works for Petco Park, please thank Petco Park as well. And thank yourselves and come to see me in First Day on Broadway if you're ever in New York. God bless you guys.